My best actress wife's top stream childhood sweetheart is acting cutesy with her, wanting to make their relationship public on a romance reality show. My wife was over the moon. Baby, you finally want to make me official. Aren't you afraid your brother-in-law will get angry? Afraid of what? Without me. He's just a middle school teacher, he's nothing. I coldly hung up on that childhood sweetheart's deliberately provocative call, then turned to inform my assistant. The day my wife announces her relationship, buy the trending topic to the top spot, withdraw all the resources we gave them, terminate the contract, and demand compensation. Cut off the investment in my father-in-law's laboratory. Chapter 1. My top actress wife Veronica let her childhood sweetheart Joel take my guest spot and go with her on the hottest dating reality show. Love. 2 top stars. Showing off sweetness. Love went viral and swept across the internet. Fans went crazy. On the last day of the live broadcast, before all the guests made their final choices, the show arranged a 10-minute cooling-off session. Knowing I was watching, my wife sent me a message when she entered the small, cooling-off room. It's all scripted, Steven. Don't overthink. Joel is like a younger brother I grew up with. Our intimacy is just for work. Thanks for handling things with my mom. My dad has no sense of time once he enters the lab. Tonight might be a celebration. Not sure when it ends. Don't wait for me. Through the screen, I saw the unstoppable upward curve of her lips. I sneered and typed back, "Is it really just a script?" The message never went through. I had been blocked. I let out a cold laugh and called directly. As expected, the call was blocked too. Another number would probably end the same way. Ever since my company's team had made Joel famous, whenever rumors between my wife and him trended, she would block me completely, simple and brutal, cutting off my questions. But this time, I hadn't even planned to question her. I just wanted to tell her that my mother-in-law was critically ill, and the hospital required a family signature. I put my phone away. The attending doctor looked at me anxiously. Still can't reach the family. Sorry, I'm not a direct relative. I can't sign this. Not wanting to make things hard for him, I paused before giving advice. Ask a colleague to record video evidence showing you tried to reach her. Otherwise, you might get attacked online. The patient's daughter is the actress Veronica. Right now, she's on a dating show. I'm her husband, but that doesn't count as a direct relative. I can't sign. The doctor showed the same constipated look my assistant often had. Lives mattered most. He quickly gathered the other staff in the office and recorded a video of him calling Veronica. The call went through. After hearing the situation, Veronica impatiently complained. Ask Steven to sign. He's my husband. I shrugged indifferently. Signed the critical illness notice. The entire process recorded. My mother-in-law was rushed into surgery. I instructed the caretaker to stay at the operating room, then left the hospital with my assistant. To the public, I was the honest man. I'd always followed the rules. After college, I took the teaching exam and became a history teacher at a public middle school. Later, I married my high school crush, now top actress Veronica, and people added another label to me, a simp. My wife and her parents also thought I lived off her. Her parents, both professors, looked down on my small business parents, and on me. My wife believed this broke nobody of a husband would never dare divorce her, so she shamelessly flirted with Joel, cheated, and played around. But being honest didn't mean I was a coward. To match her, I wrote scripts in my spare time until I became a top screenwriter. With that income, I bought shares in her agency, eventually becoming its largest shareholder, guarding her position in the entertainment industry. It was only when I caught her cheating that I realized I had always been the clown, the stand-in sucker. Of course, I wanted to divorce her the moment I found out she was cheating, but if I filed too quickly, I'd lose out in the division of assets, and I couldn't prove the marriage had broken down. Without hard evidence of her affair, she would never divorce me. With her current influence, I might even be nailed to the pillar of shame forever, as the man who lived off his wife. The 10-minute cooling-off period of love ended. My wife held Joel's hand and, under the coaxing of the other guests, kissed him passionately to announce their love. The trending list exploded instantly. President Steven, my assistant hesitated. How should we handle your wife's announcement? I exhaled a puff of smoke and gave calm orders. Push the tag, already married, high on the trending list. Let her relationship announcement be exposed as cheating. Only then is it big enough. Have PR release the termination and compensation statement. Pull back all resources given to them. And send Veronica the surveillance footage of Joel pushing my mother-in-law down the stairs. Chapter 2. My assistant snapped out of it, suddenly energized. I'll arrange it immediately. I turned my head to look at the bustling traffic outside the window. My heart as hard as iron. The days of being cheated on so openly that the whole internet knew were finally coming to an end. Send 2 people to the marital home. Change the door code and delete her fingerprints. Understood. My assistant couldn't hide his excitement. Perhaps he also thought that me enduring this long was already a miracle. The hashtag Veronica cheating hashtag shot straight to the top of the trending list. In second place was hashtag Joel Veronica couple official announcement hashtag, which hadn't even been up for an hour. At the same time, the company's official website published the termination and compensation statement. Veronica lifted my block faster than ever before. Steven, Are you crazy? What good does it do you to ruin me? I already told you. Joel is a younger brother I grew up with. Stirring up shipping buzzes just to boost him. Which actor doesn't film kiss scenes? Stop making trouble. You'd better quickly respond that the marriage certificate is photoshopped, and admit you're just my crazy stalker fan. Are you done? I leaned back, laughing mockingly. You cheat on me and don't think it's wrong, but when I defend my own dignity, somehow I'm unreasonable. Today is our 12th anniversary. Do you even remember? You forgot, and instead cheated on me, publicly announced your mistress, and you expect me to accept your love? I find it filthy. The divorce agreement, my lawyer will contact you. The marital home was my premarital property, so you don't need to go back. Your belongings. I'll have someone deliver them to you. That's it. I hung up the phone and calmly removed my wedding ring. The pure silver ring drew an arc in the air and landed precisely in the roadside trash bin. A love not cherished, its token only becomes an eyesore. From school uniforms to the wedding dress, my wife and I survived the 7-year itch, but we couldn't survive her childhood sweetheart's deliberate intrusion. 3 months ago, I had deliberately secured the love reality show spot, planning to join as a couple with Veronica and announce our love on the finale. Who knew Veronica would use her influence to swap my spot for Joel's? On the very same day she got the spot, she secretly had an abortion. Her excuse was that she wanted to keep fighting for her career a few more years. Thinking of the child, I ground my molars, the pain unbearable. When I learned my wife was pregnant, I had been filled with joy. I had carefully made many preparations, even spent heavily to renovate the villa's nursery. But before I could even see a single ultrasound scan, the child was gone. Back at the company, Joel sent me a message. Mr. Steven, the dating show was all scripted. Why did you have to ruin us? Without Veronica, what right does a middle school history teacher like you have to live in a villa and drive a luxury car? Living off your wife, and you've got the nerve to act superior? Admit quickly that your marriage certificate with Veronica is fake, or don't blame me for being rude. Oh, and how exactly will you be rude? I couldn't help but laugh at his naive arrogance. You're just a mistress who climbed into her bed for resources, yet you dare to threaten the legitimate husband. Who gave you that face? Since your parents failed to teach you manners, I don't mind giving you a lesson, as a teacher. After sending the reply, I tapped my knuckle against the desk and called the PR manager. Begin the second round of media bombardment. Chapter 3. The online frenzy continued. Hashtag Joel Womanizer hashtag shot straight to the top of the trending list. One moment, netizens were sighing over the deep love of two top stars who were childhood sweethearts. The next, they were gleefully celebrating the downfall of the actress caught cheating. Now the top idol singer Joel was exposed as nothing more than a womanizer. Rotten to the core. Joel was a singer. He had struggled in the music industry for 2 years without making a name for himself. I couldn't bear to watch my wife and in-laws begging for favors everywhere, so I arranged for Joel to go abroad for special training. After 4 years, Joel returned and officially signed with Fleet of Dreams Entertainment. I personally secured 2 original singing variety shows for him, assigned a team to craft a unique persona that set him apart, and arranged for him to get attention on screen. Joel became famous. My wife was delighted, and wherever she could help him without needing the company's resources, she did so. I trusted her feelings for me, never once suspecting their relationship. Even though rumors about my wife and Joel never stopped from the moment he came back, I had PR repeatedly clarify things, genuinely believing it was only youthful friendship that would never cross the line. Until 3 months ago, Joel argued with my mother-in-law and, in the heat of the moment, shoved her down the stairs, leaving her gravely injured and unconscious. That same night, Joel went to my wife, desperate for intimacy. By coincidence, I had gone to her film set to find her, and saw with my own eyes as the two of them entered a hotel room together. I even saw Joel's assistant come downstairs to buy condoms. I immediately ordered an investigation into Joel. I discovered that during his so-called training abroad, Joel had hooked up with multiple female trainees. After returning, he slept with fans, secretly dated a female bassist, and carried on a flirtation with a girl group lead singer. If I weren't the one being cheated on, I too might have found all this entertaining. Just another story of how wild the entertainment industry could be. When Joel's scandals as a womanizer exploded online, my wife called me again. Her hoarse voice was laced with fury she could barely suppress. Steven, you've disappointed me so much. Using AI face swap to smear Joel. Joel is not a womanizer. If you want to ruin me, fine. But don't drag innocent people down. Don't act like some mad dog biting everyone. My mom has loved Joel like her own son since he was little. He could never have hurt her. You just want to divide up our marital assets, but I won't give you a cent. I sneered. The heartache I had carried since discovering her cheating went instantly numb. Marital property isn't something you can just declare off limits and keep. I had endured 3 months of humiliation, secretly transferring my own assets. For her to think she could walk away without dividing property was nothing but a delusion. Veronica, you're a graduate of a top university. Don't act like you don't know the law. The evidence of your cheating is more than enough for the court to grant divorce. As the party at fault, you'll be disadvantaged in the division of assets. If you don't understand, go ask an AI. And as for whether the surveillance of Joel pushing your mother was AI edited, you're free to call the police to investigate. Believe it or not, it's not my mother dying. My mother-in-law had never liked me. Her chosen son-in-law was Joel, someone she knew well, from a family of similar background, who had grown up alongside her daughter. My father-in-law followed her lead and never thought much of me either. In their eyes, my marriage to Veronica was nothing more than marrying up. A middle school teacher with a salary under 8,000 yuan a month could never deserve their celebrity daughter. Then came the ding of a new message. Joel, lashing out in impotent rage. Stephen, you dared investigate me. I'll tell you the truth, your wife's first time was with me. She flew abroad to sleep with me countless times while I was training. You're nothing but a stand-in sucker, a cuckold loser. I pushed my phone aside, picked up the landline, and called legal. Notify Joel and Veronica to sign the termination contracts and make sure they pay 10 times the penalty. Chapter 4. It was only after discovering my wife's cheating that I realized I wasn't even her first love. I never really cared whether she was a virgin or not, but Joel's messages still made fury surge in my chest. My wife and I had been classmates in high school. She was the campus belle, admired by countless people, while I was just a bookworm buried in my studies. We secretly dated, and after the college entrance exam, we nervously shared our first kiss. Back then, I was bubbling with happiness, feeling like I was dreaming that someone as ordinary as me could actually win her heart. I loved her with obsession. In college, she was still the campus beauty. Her photos went viral online and caught the eye of an agent. I fully supported her dream of becoming a star. To smooth her path in the entertainment industry, I wrote scripts with her as the heroine, staying up endless nights revising until I slowly made a name for myself. The script that won her the first Best Actress award, I had specifically demanded that the investors cast her as the lead. She only knew I wrote scripts and sold them. She never knew which pen name I usually used, nor how much I actually earned. Every time I tried to confess, she would get impatient, even mock me harshly. With your so-called skills, the money from your scripts probably wouldn't even be enough for one of my handbags. Stop talking nonsense. She never cared, and thus never knew that the golden screenwriter in the industry, one leaf on a boat, was me. I once thought I would spend my whole life in love with her, that we would have cute children, a happy and complete family, that even if my in-laws had always looked down on me, after 12 years together, they would finally let go of their prejudice. But no, I was nothing but the ultimate fool. I spent money and used connections to send my wife's lover abroad for training, paved his way to fame, and in return, they gave me a green meadow of cheating humiliation. President Stephen, Professor Han has arrived at the screenwriting studio. My assistant knocked on the door, face twisted like constipation. Ask him to wait in the reception room. I nodded, motioning for him to leave. The door closed again. On the other end of the phone, Veronica must have overheard, because she erupted in a furious scream. Stephen, you bastard. You know my dad has high blood pressure and you deliberately provoked him. If you want to target me, then fine. But must you drag everyone else down with you? I didn't cheat. How many times do I have to say it before you believe me? Because of you, my career is completely destroyed, you lunatic. I gave a cold smirk and asked back, aren't your accidents a little too frequent? Do you want me to count how many times you slept with Joel during the 7-day live broadcast? Is it me making things ugly, or is it you trampling my dignity into the dirt? Before Joel returned, why were you perfectly capable of keeping distance from male artists, never once sparking rumors? And even if one came up, you clarified it immediately. Veronica, you were the one who changed first. You were the one who abandoned decency. Why should I cooperate with you? I don't have a cuckold fetish. It's not only you who needs to save face. Stephen, you'll face retribution. Veronica screamed hoarsely before hanging up. If retribution ever came, it would be for her and Joel, not me. My father-in-law looked grim when he saw me in the reception room, his sharp eyes narrowing, jaw clenched tight. I sat across from him, cutting off any chance of a lecture with blunt words. Dad, if you came to preach, don't bother. I have evidence of what your precious daughter has done. If you have spare energy to trouble me, why not investigate whether my mother-in-law's fall was really an accident? Chapter 5. What do you mean by that? My father-in-law shouted furiously. Tell me clearly, how did she get hurt? There are several security cameras at home. If you want to know, go back and check them yourself. I sneered, rising to my feet. I still have work to do. I won't see you out. He came in a hurry and left in a hurry. I made myself a cup of coffee. My assistant knocked on the door, winking as he said, Madam and Teacher Joel are here. In the conference room, my wife had become a top actress in the entertainment industry not only because of my support, but also because she worked hard. We were both experienced in handling sudden public opinion crises. She was even more experienced. Not only did she bring Joel, but she also brought along 2 well-known paparazzi from the industry, disguised as their assistants. Ironically, the private investigators I had hired were introduced to me by those same 2 paparazzi. When they saw me enter the conference room, their eyes almost popped out in shock. My wife and Joel remained oblivious. The moment she saw me, my wife started to curse. Stephen, do you have no shame? To use fake photos to smear us? I, Veronica, would rather marry a dog than a pathetic loser like you. I order you to clarify immediately, or don't blame me for being ruthless, considering we were once classmates. I won't demand compensation for my losses, don't fail to recognize goodwill. Joel wrapped his arm around her shoulders, looking at me with disdain, full of the arrogance of a legitimate husband. Teacher Stephen, do your students know you suffer from delusions? You even dare forge a marriage certificate. Look at yourself, what part of you is worthy of my sister? She's only sparing you for old time's sake. If you know what's good for you, immediately clarify that the certificate was fake. Because of you, our image has been damaged. Forget emotional damages, but you must compensate our financial losses. He was brimming with arrogance, not noticing at all that my assistant and the paparazzi he'd brought wore expressions like they had swallowed dung. My wife nestled against him like a delicate bird, her eyes cold with warning as she looked at me. That once sunny girl who had held my hand and shouted into the valley that she would become a top actress was now completely blinded by the vanity of showbiz. If I weren't a major shareholder of Fleet of Dreams Entertainment, if I weren't a top screenwriter, then their plan would have worked perfectly. The broke nobody forcing his goddess to marry down, faking documents, forging a marriage certificate, binding himself to her. Crazy fan behavior that would get me doxxed. I'd be dismissed from my teaching job. My parents would be ridiculed for having a lunatic son. When it came to malice and ruthlessness, my wife was the true expert. How could I ever let her succeed? She didn't have to love me, but she couldn't have it both ways. Show off her affair with her lover while still making me the beast of burden. Taking care of her parents. I pulled out a chair and sat down, speaking slowly and calmly. Are you two done insulting me? Then it's my turn. My wife's expression stiffened, her neck tense as she glared at me. Joel, thinking victory was already his, looked down at me with arrogance and disdain. I won't clarify. Even a rabbit will bite when cornered. If you want spicier videos hitting the trending list, I don't mind breaking the law and violating your privacy. I finished, ignoring my wife's face twisting like she had swallowed a fly. Casting a glance at my assistant, I strode out of the conference room. Stephen. My wife shook off Joel and chased after me, face twisted, gripping my hand tightly. Are you insane? I'm giving you one last chance. Will you help me clarify or not? I don't need your chances. I just want you and that scumbag and slut to rot. I flung her hand away and tilted my head, signaling my assistant to stop her. The paparazzi she brought looked both thrilled and terrified. Their expressions conflicted. Perhaps they also thought my wife was being incredibly foolish, ignoring the boss of Fleet of Dreams Entertainment, and choosing instead a Playboy idol. Back upstairs at Fleet of Dreams Entertainment, I opened the paparazzi's chat, typed out a message, and sent it. The video of the cheating best actress insulting the original wife together with her mistress has been pushed to the top of the trending searches. I know you all recorded it. Chapter 6. The paparazzi, fearing my retaliation, chose to turn against my wife. The scene in the conference room hit the trending list once again. My wife and Joel, careers collapsing into ruins. The entire internet cursed them. Shameless. Is cheating really this brazen nowadays? Joel is disgusting. Scumbag and slut. Get out of the entertainment industry. Veronica is so damn revolting. We demand the explosive truth. Blood oath. Seeing they couldn't persuade me to keep enduring the cheating, my wife and Joel rushed back to Fleet of Dreams to discuss PR strategies with their manager. I don't care what method you use, Veronica. You must contact your husband for damage control. Joel, contact your training group members immediately. Bribe them. Threaten them. Whatever it takes, make them speak up for you. Hands on hips. The manager roared furiously, her voice like thunder. All endorsement brands are canceling and demanding compensation. The company will also terminate your contracts. You two really outdid yourselves. Married and without morals. Unmarried but promiscuous. Why don't you just ascend to heaven while you're at it? What karmic debt did I owe in my last life, to be stuck with you two wretches destroying my reputation? Veronica bit her lip, frantically redialing my number. Joel too was calling contacts, his forehead drenched with sweat, his face pale like it had been soaked in formalin. I had spent 3 months preparing to deliver this fatal blow. How could I possibly allow them to recover? Please look over the termination contracts. If there's no problem, sign them. The legal officer tossed the papers onto the conference table with a sharp smack. Veronica picked one up, flipped through it, and her face immediately changed. Wasn't the penalty $5 million? Why has it become $50 million? There was no way she could pay $50 million. Joel was also stunned. $50 million? Why don't you just rob us? He had only become popular a year ago, a top star for less than half that time. He had no money to pay. Your contract split is 30 to 70. The company takes 30. You get 70. But if termination is caused by personal misconduct creating negative publicity, the penalty increases tenfold. The head of legal flipped to the clause and pointed it out for them to see. I want to see President Stephen. As if steeling herself, Veronica gritted her teeth. I can solve the trending list problem before dawn, but only if I meet Stephen in person. Through the surveillance feed, I watched my wife still clinging to delusions, pressing my lips tightly in disappointment. Even at this stage, she thought the way forward was to trade her body. Sorry, President Stephen won't be seeing you. The PR manager sneered. You're not worthy. Before my wife could curse back, her father's exclusive ringtone chimed. She answered, listened briefly, then turned stiffly toward Joel, her face frozen in numb realization. TSK. She finally realized what kind of trash her so-called loyal puppy childhood sweetheart really was. I found it dull to watch, lowered my head, and texted legal. Call the police. Have Joel arrested for negligent assault. Then sue him to reclaim all my marital assets. The money and cars he took from my wife, all of it had to come back. Joel was escorted out of the company by the police. Public opinion exploded once again. From mistress to headline criminal, in less than 24 hours. No one had ever fallen faster. I packed up my computer and walked out of the office. Just as my mother-in-law's caretaker called. Boss, Madam has been rescued. The hospital should be contacting you soon. Chapter 7. I thought that after my mother-in-law was rescued, my wife would rush to the hospital immediately. Instead, she went live online to address the cheating scandal. The live stream was held in the love nest she had bought together with Joel. Joel had even shown it in his vlog. On the living room wall hung a wedding photo of the two of them. I had no idea when they had taken it. My wife and I had no wedding photos, no wedding ceremony. When we got our marriage certificate, she was starring in a popular web drama. Shipping with her co-star was trending, so we chose to keep the marriage hidden. I had always been considerate of her work, compromising again and again, yet she gave everything to another man. She adjusted the live stream camera, appearing sad, but I could tell she was acting. I'm sorry for taking up everyone's time. Yes, I am married. My husband is not in the industry. Joel is my neighbor's younger brother. Shipping with him was only to fulfill my mother's dream of seeing us together. My mother suffers from severe Alzheimer's. She doesn't remember my husband and has always mistaken Joel and me as a couple. The doctor said she doesn't have much time left. So to let her dream come true, I asked Joel to help me. I only asked my husband to clarify so my mother wouldn't think I was cheating. As for my husband, I admit I hid this from him. His anger is understandable. I solemnly apologize here. She wept while speaking, then played back a recording of the hospital contacting her, along with falsified medical records for her mother. Fans and netizens flooded in with sympathy and comfort. At that very moment, Joel walked out of the police station and also went live, supporting her statement as true. The endless twists in the scandal thrilled the audience, who ate it up eagerly. Fans who had cursed them before now apologized. Some netizens questioned whether my wife had truly cheated, but every response was brushed aside. Her shameless performance made me laugh in fury. Fine, very well, if that's how she wanted to play. Originally, I only wanted to transfer my assets and take most of the marital property, to make her feel the cost of betrayal. Now, I wanted her and Joel nailed to the pillar of shame for life, utterly socially dead. She didn't contact me about divorce. Instead, she stayed with Joel, openly flaunting their love in the nest. I sent paparazzi to capture evidence of their cohabitation. A week later, the 100 million yuan compensation from my wife and Joel hit the company's account. I also sued Joel to reclaim marital property, and the court officially filed the case. Before trial, he'll likely request mediation. You can demand compensation for emotional damages, and also full repayment for vehicle depreciation. Legal spoke earnestly. Do as you said. So what if I hadn't earned that money? Why should it benefit a mistress who ruined my family? On the day evidence of my wife's cheating was fully collected, I took the initiative to call her, inviting her back to our marital home to discuss divorce. She came back with Joel. Having regained part of her public image, she flaunted their relationship even more openly, with no concern for provoking me. But they were cautious too, bringing bodyguards along in case I plotted against them. I had bodyguards as well, 3 times their number. I had also installed 18 hidden cameras to capture everything from every angle. Hand over your phones. Otherwise, no negotiation. My wife arrogantly raised her chin, looking at me as though I were trash. Your tricks aren't enough. I handed over my phone without care and pushed the divorce agreement across the table. Check it. If there's no problem, sign it. Stephen, are you insane? Why should I give you 80% of the money I worked so hard to earn? She tore the agreement with a cold laugh. Divorce is fine, but you walk away with nothing. A simp living off a woman has no right to my money, if that makes you happy. This past week, I've gathered all the videos and photos of you two cohabiting. I dropped the act, sneering in disgust. Did your mother ever stop you two from sleeping together? Guess if I'll leak her falsified medical records. And that child you aborted, was it really mine? Veronica, you don't want dignity, and I don't mind stripping it away entirely. Chapter 8. Veronica's face visibly darkened. She grabbed my phone, unlocked it, and immediately restored it to factory settings. Joel clapped his hands in delight. Teacher Stephen, go on, show us whatever trump card you think you have left. Why would you two think I'd be stupid enough not to back everything up? I was dumbfounded by Veronica's idiocy. I couldn't understand why I had ever fallen in love with her. I agreed to the divorce. In the end, Veronica compromised, gritting her teeth as she signed the agreement. A small regret lingered. Joel hadn't acted up, depriving me of one more piece of damning evidence. I'd hired 6 bodyguards for nothing. At the Civil Affairs Bureau, we filed the divorce application. The 30-day cooling-off period began. As the major shareholder of Fleet of Dreams Entertainment, I quietly hinted to several top companies in the industry to reject Veronica and Joel's requests for contracts. Blocked on every front, the two of them began preparing to start their own studio. I didn't interfere until the divorce certificate was in hand, and the properties Veronica agreed to transfer to me were secured. I still had to be patient. Half a month passed. The 3 apartments, 1 shopfront, 1 Rolls-Royce Cullinan, 1 Maybach S600, all transferred under my name. 30 million in cash hit my account. The villa, 2 shopfronts, a Maserati, and a Ferrari that Joel had swindled from Veronica were also transferred to me. On top of that, he compensated me 10 million for emotional damages. Freed from restraint, Veronica and Joel chose to live stream e-commerce, with her devoted daughter fulfilling her mother's dream persona. Their live streams thrived. Within 3 days, their fan count surpassed 2 million. Then Joel, true to his pathetic nature, sent me a voice message, taunting, "Teacher Steven, did you see? I'm the true love of my sister. You lived off her for years. Aren't you ashamed to act so proud? I heard your parents run a small business. My money won't be that easy for you to take." I watched him dig his own grave, coldly instructing my assistant to cut off funding to my father-in-law's lab. Without financial support, sure enough, my father-in-law turned to Veronica, and for once, Veronica reached out to me. "Steven, I gave you so much property already. Can't you fund my dad's lab?" "Not much. Just 10 million will do. I heard from my dad that you know President Steven of Fleet of Dreams. Did you manipulate the contract termination? Steven, did you ever truly love me? What do our 12 years together mean to you?" "They mean I was unlucky. For the one who cheated and betrayed me to question whether I had ever loved her, how could a person be so shameless?" After that call, Veronica never contacted me again. My mother-in-law's condition showed no improvement. Though rescued before, she had remained unconscious. The caretaker who looked after her sent me daily videos. I kept them all, including proof that since Veronica had been with Joel, she had hardly visited the hospital. Together, Veronica and Joel continued live stream selling. Their fans soon grew to over 5 million. The cooling-off period ended. With the divorce certificate in hand, I got into my newly arrived Pagani Huayra BC and left without looking back. After I left, Veronica and Joel went to her parents' house together. Joel, unable to resist provoking me, deliberately sent me photos of the 2 families having dinner. "Teacher Steven, I'm engaged to my sister now. Your nightmare is just beginning." I wanted to see what kind of chaos they planned to stir up, so I called PR and told them to prepare a counterattack. Chapter 9. That night, Joel and Veronica went live right on schedule. While tasting some instant wontons, they deliberately revealed my parents' shop, mocking the food as bad in taste and poor in hygiene. Their live stream had nearly 1 million viewers online. Their die-hard fans and shipping fans were all watching. Enthusiastic doxing fans quickly dug up my parents' contact details and even posted the shop address in the bullet comments. I had no more reason to hold back. I went straight to PR and told them to set up a live stream. Once the equipment was ready, I logged into Fleet of Dreams Entertainment's official account and went live. "Hello everyone. I am Steven, Veronica's ex-husband, and the owner of Fleet of Dreams Entertainment. The wonton shop that Veronica and Joel mentioned in their live stream does indeed belong to my parents. This morning, Veronica and I finalized our divorce. Regarding her affair with Joel, while making the excuse of fulfilling her mother's dream, I have 6 points to clarify." I held up a copy of our marriage certificate and the divorce certificate in front of the camera. After confirming that the audience had seen them clearly, I opened my mother-in-law's electronic medical record. My former mother-in-law does not have Alzheimer's. She is in a coma because Joel pushed her down the stairs. During her hospitalization, Veronica only visited 3 times. The recording Veronica played during her live stream, claiming it proved she wasn't cheating, was actually the call from the hospital when her mother was in critical condition and needed a direct relative's signature to save her. There was never any misunderstanding. Veronica's cheating is a fact. That is why I chose divorce. My assistant then held up a tablet and played the audio surveillance of my mother-in-law's fall. She had caught Joel coming out of Veronica's room and stopped him to scold him. "Joel, how could you sleep in Veronica's room? She's married. This isn't right. Steven, that simp doesn't deserve my sister. They'll divorce soon enough." "Divorce? Do you want to ruin Veronica?" "Auntie, don't get in my way." Joel shoved her aside. She lost her footing, tumbled down the stairs, and lay motionless. Joel panicked, immediately calling Veronica. "Vero, where are you? I'm being followed by a stalker fan. I'm so scared." Then he hung up and ran, without calling 120 for help. The nanny only returned several minutes later. When the footage ended, I looked into the camera with a pained expression. "Veronica, we fell in love in high school. In 12 years together, we never had a dull moment. If you no longer loved me, You could have told me, but you shouldn't have betrayed me by cheating. I had wanted us to part on good terms, but I never imagined you'd deliberately sick your fans on my parents to cyberbully them. I hope you take care of yourself. From now on, we are finished, strangers forever. The 10-minute live stream ended, and the trending list exploded. Hashtag Veronica picking sesame seeds while losing the watermelon hashtag. Hashtag Veronica cheating confirmed hashtag. Hashtag unfilial daughter Veronica hashtag. Sensing the shift, the live stream platform immediately banned Veronica and Joel's channel. How could Steven possibly be the boss of Fleet of Dreams? Veronica frantically called me, but I had long since blocked her. The phone I used to coordinate the divorce certificate was my assistant's. This can't be real, right? How could Steven possibly be the boss of Fleet of Dreams? Joel looked like he had been struck by lightning. No wonder no company had dared to sign them after Fleet of Dreams terminated their contracts. No wonder the cheating scandal shot straight to the top of the trending list. Everyone in the industry knew that Fleet of Dreams was real, tangible capital. I'm going to find him and get the truth. Veronica gnashed her teeth in rage. He took so much money from me, and now I find out he's capital himself. I'll sue him. Chapter 10. The day I decided to divorce Veronica, I moved out of the marital home and back to my parents' house. My parents had long since stopped running the shop. I had bought them a large villa. They spent their days tending the garden or driving around on short trips nearby. Veronica must have gone to our old neighborhood to get the address from the neighbors, because she eventually showed up at the new villa. Seeing that it was even larger than our marital home seemed to enrage her further. Tea or soda? I ignored her fury and greeted her politely. Veronica lost control, pointing a trembling finger at my nose as she cursed. Steven, you're shameless. You hid your wealth all along, and then took nearly $300 million from me in the divorce. You were just a man living off a woman, scheming after my money all along. I must have been blind to marry garbage like you. Call me whatever you want. The money is already in my pocket. If you've got the guts, go sue me. I sneered with contempt. The company shares were in my father's name, and my pen name One Leaf on a Boat was signed under my mother's ID. Even if she went to the highest court in the country, I wouldn't have to give up a cent. You just wait. Veronica was so furious she burst into tears. I felt no pity. I even twisted the knife. You should get a full medical checkup. Don't end up with some dirty disease. Your parents only have one daughter. Her face went pale. She spun around and ran out, pressing my lips together. I shook my head and closed the door. After discovering her cheating, I suffered from insomnia for a month, constantly replaying what I might have done wrong. How could she suddenly stop loving me? I had even considered offering her 10% of Fleet of Dreams as shares to salvage our marriage, but Joel's vlog of their love nest made me give up that absurd idea. In it, a fleeting glimpse of their wedding photo showed me the truth. Veronica and I had already drifted apart. I had struggled to keep pace with her, finally standing at her side, only for her to hand me a death sentence before I could even confess. After giving up came the waves of anger and hatred. Faced with betrayal, I could not swallow my pride and walk away quietly. Veronica never sought me out again. She turned to a lawyer instead. Joel, on the other hand, messaged me daily with insults, calling me vicious, greedy, a cheap lowlife. My assistant told me that after their live stream channel was banned, their relationship cooled rapidly. The next time I heard from Veronica was 1 month after the divorce. My mother-in-law had died after failing another round of emergency treatment. Steven, can you help me? I don't have a mother anymore. I beg you. For the sake of our 12 years together, please help me. I regret everything. My heart hurts so much. Steven, Veronica sobbed bitterly. I hung up in silence and instructed my assistant to help handle the funeral arrangements. There was no need for us to meet. I had never wished for my mother-in-law's death. From dating to marriage, 12 years together, I believed I had fulfilled my duty as a son-in-law. Whenever Veronica was away on long shoots, I handled her parents' medical checkups and hospital visits. I treated them like my own parents. I always bought gifts in pairs. Every New Year and festival, I prepared everything in advance so they never had to worry. But they never accepted me. When my mother-in-law regained consciousness briefly after Joel pushed her down the stairs, her first words were to curse me. It's all your fault, you pathetic loser. Clinging to Veronica. If not for you, Joel wouldn't have gotten angry and pushed me. I never should have agreed to your marriage. You don't deserve Veronica. All these years you leached off our family. Once I'm discharged, you two had better divorce. Veronica and I did divorce. Unfortunately, my mother-in-law didn't live to see it. Chapter 11. My assistant rushed to the hospital, where my wife supported my father-in-law, who suddenly looked 10 years older, as they tearfully completed the procedures. The blow to Veronica was heavy. Her eyes were swollen to thin slits, her mind dazed. My father-in-law clutched my assistant's hand, tears streaming down his face. Go back and thank Steven for me. I'll deliver your words. My assistant couldn't bear to watch. Veronica Hahn opened her mouth but could only cry silently, unable to speak a word. Professor Hahn took the surveillance video to the police, accusing Joel of intentional injury and demanding compensation from Joel's family. My assistant called me to gossip. The police took Joel away. Miss Hahn fainted crying several times. Professor Hahn said he owed you an apology. He said it was his failure in raising Miss Han that caused you two to turn against each other, to break completely. It's all in the past. Help them handle the funeral properly. I had already let go of the past. Veronica could no longer stir anything in me. The funeral for my mother-in-law went smoothly. On the day of burial, Joel's parents came to my father-in-law and Veronica, kneeling and begging for forgiveness. Veronica, you practically raised Joel. He didn't mean it. Please forgive him. Veronica, Joel is our only child. We beg you. Spare him once. Joel truly didn't mean it. He just panicked and made a mistake. I thought Veronica, who had effectively caused her mother's death, would refuse Joel's parents, but she agreed to forgive him. My father-in-law also chose to forgive Joel. Hard to comment. After the funeral, Veronica and Joel broke up, forced out by contract terminations. They were universally hated online. Their works pulled and faces swapped out. Without jobs, they were left with nearly $200 million in debt. Veronica had given most of her money to me in the divorce. After paying penalties, life was hard for her. To win me back, she started learning to cook, calling me again and again like I once had when waiting for her. Every time I blocked a number, she used another. She even came to my school, loudly shouting in front of my colleagues, "Stephen, I was wrong. Please forgive me just once. I've broken up with Joel. I only love you. Our 12 years together, I don't believe you've stopped loving me. Please, forgive me. I truly know I was wrong." I looked at her, acting without sincerity, and felt nothing but disgust. Stop making a pointless scene. You're embarrassing us both. If you have time to waste trying to win me back, better use it to find a job. I knew why she wanted to remarry. Her lawyer must have told her that only by finding evidence of me transferring assets could she file a lawsuit to demand redistribution of marital property. After my mother-in-law's death, Professor Han's health declined sharply. Veronica faced caring for him while watching her resources dwindle. She was truly afraid. With several million in savings and 2 apartments, most people could live comfortably, but not her. It's easy to go from frugal to extravagant, but hard to return. Since she entered the entertainment industry, her lifestyle had leveled up, using only the best in everything. For 7 years straight, Veronica must not have expected me to reject her. She truly cried, "Stephen, can't you give me one more chance? I still love you." With Joel, it was just a slip, a small mistake. Why can't you forgive me? What do I have to do for you to agree? Chapter 12. I would never forgive Veronica. Forgiving her would mean betraying the version of myself who had once loved her wholeheartedly. It would also betray the past in which I was cheated on, humiliated again and again by a mistress, nearly crushed into depression. With how ugly the divorce had been, there could be no other possibility but to cut ties forever. When she couldn't win me back, Veronica started writing dramatic essays online. She reminisced about our years together, every little detail. Her writing was good. At first no one realized it was her. When the diary went viral, the internet began digging to find out who the ex-husband was. She publicly begged her ex-husband for another chance. I hadn't responded yet, but Joel snapped first. Branded a disgraced celebrity, he was reduced to singing in bars. Bars are chaotic places. He couldn't help himself, hooked up with the band leader's girlfriend, got caught in the act, and was beaten so badly his manhood was ruined on the spot. The bar circuit is small. Once word spread of his filth, he was completely blacklisted. Joel's elderly parents fled abroad to escape the fallout, hiding under burner accounts. Without income and with illness, Joel latched onto Veronica again. Seeing her trying to win me back online, he publicly lashed out at her. "Veronica, stop pretending you're so devoted. You seduced me when I was still underage. At 18, the first year you married Stephen, you cheated on him by sleeping with me. Stephen was just unlucky to have met a slut like you. I'm already rotten, but don't think you'll have it easy either. Do you love him? Or do you love his money and status now? Don't you know the answer? Drop the act." The internet exploded. Veronica hit the trending list again, and her account was banned again. Joel even maliciously exposed Professor Han's identity, leading to constant harassment from netizens until the professor was forced into early retirement. A month later, my gossip-loving assistant told me, "Miss Han and Professor Han are gone. They sold their house and car. No one knows where they went. Joel's gone insane." My heart skipped a beat. I immediately hired 8 bodyguards, 4 to travel with my parents, 4 to stay by my side. After a week of peace, just when I let my guard down, Joel ambushed me in an underground parking lot. He held a 3-edged dagger, lunging at me with a snarl. "Stephen, go to hell." But the bodyguards never let him get close. One kick sent him flying. Under their protection, I walked up to him and sneered down at him. "Idiot, did you really think I wasn't prepared for you? Well, now you'll get prison food. Enjoy sewing machines in jail. When you come out, at least you'll have a trade." Joel, charged with attempted murder, was taken away by the police. I had lost love and marriage, but I had gained hundreds of millions. Happiness could be that simple. And yet, sometimes I still wondered, if Veronica had never crossed the line, would our lives have turned out differently? 3 years later, I met a girl who moved my heart. From then on, I never thought of Veronica again.